Hey all, welcome to ShareTech. This is Raj here, friends. Today we're going to look at the end of day action. S&P 500 futures are up 0.47% during the day. Our support continues to stay at 5838.00. MACD and momentum both are elevated. MACD is kind of turning towards the signal line. However, momentum is quite elevated and strong. RSI is almost close to overbought, but there is still a little bit of room for it to continue to go ahead. And then if you look at NASDAQ futures, it's mildly down 0.02%. During the day, it had demonstrated a very, very narrow range of trading, and you can hardly see the candle out here. And right now it's flickering between positive and negative. So it's kind of neutral, I would say. And if you look at the dollar index, it was down 0.21%. It has come back below this minor line of resistance. And it was earlier support during the day. Now it has become a resistance. And if you look at the 10-year yields, 10-year yields have dropped very healthily by 2.05%. This, I think, is good for the market. And now let us go on and have a look at the indicators where they have left. S&P 500 gained 0.41% during the day, and it stays above this huge area of supply and support. And the resistance continues to be 5994.46. And support for tomorrow is going to be 5882.43. MACD is bullish, but turning towards the signal line. Momentum is almost overbought, but still a little bit more room for it to go up. Potentially, I am thinking that it will hit this resistance and then come back down. That's what I'm thinking. NASDAQ is absolutely flat. It's at 0.08%. And during the day, it was trying to negotiate this area of supply and did not succeed. Momentarily, it went up and then it came back down. That's why you have that wick out there. So that's the story of NASDAQ. MACD is looking okay, though it's tending towards the signal line. It's still bullish. Momentum is in the overbought area. But friends, in better times, we have been able to go all the way up to 81.30. But in not so good times, we have been pushed down by the 70%. Is it going to be one of those times? We'll find out tomorrow. But it's very important to note that the NASDAQ performance was inferior to the S&P 500 performance today. So probably the chances are that we might decline. Next, let's look at VIX. VIX was down 4.19% and came back below this line of support, and this now becomes a resistance. So VIX is behaving pretty well for the retail investor, I would say. And if you look at gold, gold is up 1.81%. I'm still thinking that gold has a good opportunity to come and test this line again. And since the market is still open, I would wait for it to close above this diagonal line of support. That would validate that the support is now going to perform for future going forward. Likewise for this diagonal line of support also. So if we end above these two lines of support, then I'm thinking that we're going to bounce off and go all the way up to 3425.68. Let's talk about gold. Gold, I think, has done very well overall. Today, it has gained around 1.82%. I think the final destination of gold will become clear if today we close above this diagonal line of support and this diagonal line of support, because then it would mean that we have validated that support, and it paves the way for us to move up towards this minor line of resistance and take a second swing at it. So that's what I am thinking. You might be wondering what Raj is doing. I have my little doggy with me. She's not feeling well today and she wants to be comforted. And at the same time, I want to get this video out in time. So she's sleeping on my lap. And from time to time, she gets a bit restless. I'll have to take her to the vet and see what is wrong with her. So please bear with me as I continue with this. Next, let's go on and look at Genomics. Let's do Genomics directly. And in Genomics, I'm looking at Prime, which was up 4.13% today. Yesterday and day before, all the Genomic stocks were red. And today, the Genomic stocks are doing much better, which kind of shows that there's some kind of a rotation taking place in the market. And the money that had gone out of Genomics is coming back into Genomics. Probably people took profit in the other sectors and they are moving that money into Genomics. So we are happy whenever money comes into Genomics. And the biggest gainer today seems to be Grail. And I remember Jesse had asked about Grail, and I didn't have a clear-cut answer at that time, but Grail seems to have done very well. Today, it gained 18.55%. There's a whole lot of choppiness and volatility. When a stock moves 10 or 18% in a given day and keeps on moving like that for a few days in a row, it's very difficult to judge what's going to happen next. And at this point of time, that is the case as far as Grail is concerned. And we have converted this minor line of resistance into a minor line of support. And our next resistance, in my opinion, is going to be another minor line of resistance. And I'll draw that somewhere out here. I'll mark it orange because that's our convention in the channel. So that's going to be our resistance for tomorrow. And the next biggest gainer was Allogene. Allogene was up 14.10%. And I think the earnings kind of spurred the market attention because it, as I mentioned in my earlier video, it takes a little time for the market to absorb earnings information from genomic sector. So there has been a big jump out here, and we welcome any of these spikes that we see out here. We still have support, variable support, dynamic support at 0.64. And we have resistance at 1.35. This gain has not done much for the MACD, but momentum has come out from the highly oversold area. It could also be a dead cat bounce. I'm not sure about it. Now let's go on to look at Prime. Prime was up 4.13% during the day. Our support continues to be 1.16. We ended at 1.26, and our resistance for tomorrow is going to be 1.51. Intelia was up 2.47% during the day. Resistance continues to be 9.07, and support is somewhere in the region of 6.80. Caribou Biosciences was up 2.56%, and I'm going to expand this chart just so that we can see the candles clearly. So today's candle managed to break through this diagonal line of resistance. I'm going to mark this as a diagonal line of support, and I'm going to drag this down a little bit. And our support for tomorrow is likely to be 0.81. We ended the day at 0.8399. And if we break down below the support, then our support for tomorrow is likely to be 0.61. So that's the range in which we are likely to move. I would be happy if we were able to close above this diagonal line of support tomorrow as well, which would validate this support. And then we can start planning moves upward to come and challenge the resistance at 1.26. And I'm just going to make this a little thicker so that you can see that's the nearest resistance that I have plotted so far for this chart, just in order to keep it clean. If we start movement upwards, I'll draw other intermediate resistances. Next, let us look at Beam. Beam was up 0.06% during the day. Support continues to be 15.03, and resistance continues to be 17.47. We ended the day at 17.25. Altimmune was up 1.32%. We still have resistance at 5.80. The day ended at 5.78. So for tomorrow, resistance is 5.78 and support is 5.30. Look at Verve. It was up 0.23%. A very small gain of 1 cent. Our resistance continues to be 4.40. We ended the day at 4.32. And our support is going to be 3.54. Editas was up 0.72%. Resistance continues to be 1.67, and support continues to be 1.33. We ended the day at 1.39. Then we have Illumina. Illumina was up 3.44% during the day, and that helped it to convert 80.82 into a support. Right now, we are at 80.90 at the end of the day. So I'm going to convert this into a support. So for tomorrow, the support is going to be 80.68, and the resistance is going to be starting at 89.48. Our MACD is bullish and momentum is also pretty good. So I'm expecting Illumina will definitely start moving upward. But the critical test for us tomorrow is to close above this horizontal line of support. And if we do that, then the support will be validated. If not, I think then we have to look at the other support, which is just below it at 74.09. That said, let us look at CRISPR Therapeutics, which is up 1.99%. And that makes our resistance for tomorrow at 36.81. We are today at 36.31. That's where we ended. And after hours, it's trading at 36.33. So this resistance for us at 36.81 is very well taken, and our support is going to be 36.26. I'm also going to remove these small artifacts that we have here, which are of no use. I'm trying to keep the chart as simple as possible. I'm going to remove this horizontal line of support as well. The chart is cleaner. Next, let us look at allogene. Allogene, we already done allogene. We already done grain, and let's go on to PACB, which was down 3.64%. I'm going to stop analyzing PACB because I don't think anybody cares about it. The stock is already heading towards penny stock status. Let's go to RG. RG was up 0.38% during the day. Our support continues to be 20.26 and our resistance continues to be 21.86. We ended the day at 21.21. Vertex was up 3.14%. Finally, Vertex has started arresting the fall. It had fallen steeply for 4 days, and then it started consolidating sideways. So the consolidation action is taking place. Probably this is a chance for investors to accumulate it. Again, my personal opinion, not financial advice. I think an accumulation will start first, and once the accumulation is done, we'll start moving on the way up, and it will start mending the MACD and the momentum. Once the momentum is above average and the MACD is gone to neutral, I think the upward movement can start. Till then, it's a bit dicey. Now, let's look at DNA. Ginkgo Bioworks, it was down 2.43% during the day, continuing to be range-bound. Resistance at 8.41, support at 6.46. Unicure was up 4.74% during the day, and our resistance continues to be 13.39. We closed the day at 13.25. Right now, we are at 13.30. And for tomorrow, the support is going to be 11.84. IMATIX was up 3.07% during the day. Support continues to be at 4.16. Resistance is going to be 5.34. ABEO was up 7.42% during the day. It gained around 40 cents. And our resistance continues to be 6.05. And our support for tomorrow is going to be at 5.56. Right now, we are at 5.76. I'm going to mark this as green, and the MACD is mending and the momentum is above average. Maybe that can help the MACD to become neutral and then bullish. So that brings me to an end of today's video, and I hope you could all wish the very best for my little doggy out here, Cory, and I hope that she gets well soon. So I'm going to wind up this video. Take care of this little one, and I'll catch up with you again tomorrow in the next video. Bye for now.